And hey, we're live on Facebook. Listen, I want to tell you guys, I am interviewing today a very good friend of mine. He is man, the guy is absolutely amazing. He's a good. He's turned into such a good friend of mine over the last few years. We've known each other for quite a while. I've watched this guy. He's a little bit younger than me. But I've watched him grow significantly. I mean, significantly over the. Hold on, I need to pull this up on my phone here. So I've watched him grow significantly over the last few years. He's had some major breakthroughs in life. So I want to, without any more from me, I want to welcome my good friend and buddy Stephen Faught. Stephen, welcome to the show, brother.
What's going on, man? I'm happy, honored to be on this.
I'm very honored to have you here, man. I'm honored to have you here. We've got some people sharing. I want to just shout them out real quick and say thank you. Looks like Jill Rainey Walls. I know that chick. How do I know her? Oh yeah, I'm married to her. Jill shared it out. Looks like a couple of other people have. So like I told you on the show that I'm doing here. What's up, Jesse Hall? I'm doing, kind of an open, and I love the way my book is strategically positioned.
You like how I from that, right? a little product placement in the background.
For full transparency, Elizabeth, thank you for sharing. I told him, I said, dude, why don't you have my book back there? What's going on? So he put it back there. So, man, all kinds of people have shared this out. So thank you for that. So listen, Stephen is there's a technical term for what he is. He is a badass is what he is. And I've got to know him. I've gotten to know Stephen pretty well. And dude, you know your stuff, man. And I'm really, I'm really impressed with you, man. So let's talk a little bit about, where it all started for you. I mean, I know you've done, you were the number one television salesperson in the entire state of Louisiana for many, many years. You've done, I mean, I haven't ever been to your home, not yet, but I've seen it on video. You got a nice crib and, you're pretty youthful still. And it's just impressive, man. So tell me
Thanks,
where did you grow up? Let's start there. Where'd you grow up?
Yeah, I was born in New Orleans. I live in Slidell, which is a suburb right outside of New Orleans. But I was born and raised in New Orleans, and then went to high school out here. Went to college about 30 miles east of LSU, a little small university called Southeastern. Got my marketing degree there, and I was in college. I was DJing, man. I was having a good time. And I said, eventually I got to get into the real world of working and get a job because, I don't want to live in my parents' house forever. But I was DJing and traveling the country, making a bunch of money. So I was like, this is kind of cool. This is great. Let's do this as long as I possibly can.
Right.
Well, then, it wound up, an opportunity came about to work for a TV station in New Orleans. And I was like, man, I always thought commercials were sold on a national level. You see the Super Bowl spots for millions of dollars. And I mean, I guess I could do local advertising. So I was 22 years old and, I started working for it was a duopoly. It was an ABC and a CW affiliate. And, they pretty much said, look, man, you don't have any sales experience, but we'll give you a shot. Come in, here's the phone book and just, you can make 20% commission on anything you sell. And so I was like, all right, well, I want to get paid. So I started banging on doors and started calling people cold. And I started producing a lot of revenue and a lot of income. And they were like, man, who's this young guy doing all this? And the veterans were like, man, this guy's a lot of energy. He's breaking all these new business records and making all this money, getting all these awards. And so, they started shifting over to me transactional accounts, which are McDonald's. It was Cox Communications. So I had built up a base of business through transactional accounts as well as going out to the marketplace calling on local businesses. So I started stacking and stacking and stacking. And then the rule of thumb in the TV station was wait for somebody to either retire or move on, and that list opens up, and there's like a waiting line to like get in the freaking manager's office to get all their accounts. So I was able to pick up some accounts doing that, but then just still kept pounding like new business and like local advertisers for like, you know, ABC and for CW. And I was selling sports here and there. I did it and I was at almost 8 years. I was at the Tribune-owned station in New Orleans, and made a bunch of money, man. Traveled, like it was awesome.
You were in the you were. I mean, I know what kind of, you want to tell everybody what kind of money you were making, man, because it's crazy.
It was for 23 years old. Let's see, I had a new Mercedes. I was in the Dominican Republic just for fun. Yeah. I mean, it was good. It was when TV was relevant. So I was catching it, man. I was doing really well.
It was well into the 6-figure level, and you know, that was in your 20s, man. And,
I was 23. I was 23 and making over $100,000 a year.
Yeah, and
that was in 2000. That was 2007.
Right.
So
yeah,
I mean, that was
and that's what I've found so impressive about you, man, is you're just, I mean, look, that puts you in a pretty big baller category in my book. You know, yeah. Like if you can go at 23 years old. Now, let me ask you a question though, and be honest, man. Be honest. I know how you went to LSU, right?
No, I went to Southeastern, which is close enough to LSU.
I know how much you wish you would have gone to Ohio State University. I don't blame you. But let me ask you this, dude. How relevant was that degree when it came to knocking on doors? How much did you use your college degree when you were out knocking on doors? Did you ever have the thought? Because I think for me it was like the college degree got me like the interview. Yeah.
But, you know, the interview got me the job.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that was pretty much it. At that point, it was, okay, well, can you produce? Look, I had friends of mine that were getting MBAs and they didn't have any experience.
Right.
And it's like, well, I can't find a job. Well, now you're coming out of college with an MBA and no work experience. And now you have those 3 letters behind your name. You're like, well, I want to start off making $80,000, $90,000 a year. Well, guess what? Can you sell? I don't know if you can sell or not.
Right.
I have no clue. You have an MBA, that's great. But, you know, if it's between a person with an MBA or a person that's got 5 years sales experience, documented sales experience and sales success.
Right.
I mean, you're going to go with the guy that's got the experience.
Right. Right.
So I think for now, I mean, I don't know, man. I'd struggle with somebody that would be borrowing money today to get a business degree.
Right.
General business.
I think, you know, my point is, you know, and you and I have talked a lot about the books that we read or that we've read and studied and what helps, because at the end of the day, it's like Grant Cardone says, like it comes down to having an ability to produce revenue. That's right. what, no matter what you're doing, if you're working for somebody else or you have your own business, you got to be able to produce revenue. And that comes with the sales skills.
Yeah. And you're able to help clients, help them, you know, you solve their problems and provide them with solutions, and, you know, and form a great relationship working with clients. It's a win-win. It's a win for the client. It's a win for you. And, you know, that's the name of the game, man. And I think for me, like I learned a lot of lessons out on the streets selling.
Yeah.
That weren't taught in a classroom setting.
Right.
You know, my wife, on the other hand, is a doctorate in physical therapy. Like she had to go to school. She had to get her doctorate, like to do what she does every day.
Right.
And she wouldn't trade what she does, even though she works very hard and has some really tough days. I don't think she would trade doing what she does for having to do what I do.
Right. So, yeah. She's amazing, by the way. I know your wife. She's awesome. You're a blessed man. You're a blessed man. So the thing that I think, you know, my point was, you know, your success comes from your ability to sell and close a deal. Would you agree with that?
100%.
Yeah. And
that's how you measure success. I mean, you can measure success other ways, but I mean, from a sales perspective, I mean, if you're successful or not is, are you able to go out to the marketplace,
right.
With a solution that a client would exchange, funds for to work with them on. So,
right.
the ones that can go out and sell, they can go out and get it. I know for me, and I've kind of went on a journey, and I'm sure we'll get into it eventually, but for me, like it doesn't matter where I wind up or what I'm doing because I know I can sell.
Right.
Right. And I can provide service to clients. So no matter where I'm working, if I'm working for a big company in New York City, or if I start my own firm in what I'm doing out here in New Orleans, like the thought of, well, am I going to make it or not? Like, I know I can sell. I know I can provide services to clients and help them.
Right.
So therefore it allows you to go out to the marketplace and to fine tune your business. And that for me has taken away any, what I would call fear,
sure.
Because I'm betting on myself.
Right. Right.
So,
you and I've spent, I don't even know how many hours on phone calls and whatnot, a lot, right?
A lot.
But, I know that you've had you were at the one station group there in New Orleans for a while, and then you ended up, just continue to tell. I mean, what was the next step?
I was at the ABC station in the marketplace, and as far as news rankings and all that, they were last. I mean, they didn't. It wasn't a powerhouse news station. And so, as I was, in my career, I was 8 years in, thinking to myself, let's see, well, do I want to stay in television? Or do I want to go do something else, like medical sales or whatnot? And I liked advertising,
right.
But I knew my income was limited because of the amount of market share that the TV station had. So it can only grow so much, a lot of churn because it wasn't getting advertiser results.
Right.
So I was approached by the CBS affiliate, knocked on my door and made me an offer. And I was like, I don't know, it's not quite where it needs to be in order for me to leave, a company I was with for 8 years. Right. And so 2 months later, they came back with a more aggressive offer. And I said, all right, if I want to go sell for CBS, which now you're selling the Super Bowl and now you're selling college football, which down here in the SEC is a big market for TV. So when you're selling, an LSU Florida game at 2:30 up against Wake Forest, Ohio State, right? So, the New Orleans market is going to tune into Florida LSU versus that game. So you could charge more money and just, higher revenue, and then you get higher commissions.
Right.
So I left. It was a hard decision because I love working for the guys I worked with.
Yeah.
But I made them. What's that?
It wasn't 8 years. About 8 years? 8 years
at that station. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, I got to move up. So I went to work for the number one station in town. And I worked there for about 2.5 years or so. Mm-hmm. And that's when you and I kind of connected at the end of that run.
Yeah.
Income went even higher at that point because I had a better product to sell, right. And I was really crushing it.
You were really crushing it.
I was doing really well. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I met Ken when and Ken and I, did some business back in the day. Yeah. And I was able I jumped on a sales training platform that he was selling at the time, and I created a platform and knew that I wasn't going to stay in TV forever. So I had to set myself up for something that was going to be something I could go and, like Cardone would say, 10X.
Yeah.
Right. To scale out. Right. So I created this virtual training platform, designated just taking everything that I did and put it into a platform to help TV and digital sellers go out and sell in the marketplace, using Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, all new ways of selling that have gotten me to be successful. And now I have a system available to TV stations and all that. So I'm able to offer to them to show them how I did it and, the ways that corporate was sending down PowerPoint slides, or I've been on so many busted training seminar days, just for a waste of time.
Right.
And so I was like, you know what, if I could do something that makes sense, that the account executives can relate to it, it's current, it's fresh, it's affordable, it's measurable, then I would do that. So I launched that. I built that program, and kind of kept it in my back pocket for the right time to launch it. And that's when the Fox station had called me up and said, look, man, we want you to come work for us. you can sell the Saints, you can sell all NFL football, and the Super Bowl's back on Fox again. So I was like, all right, look, if I'm gonna stay in TV, like let's just try out Fox and see how it works. And then, at this point in time, the big shift had happened from traditional media with television advertising now to social media, and it was hitting really hard because the accounts that I had were a lot of automotive accounts, and those guys were traditionally spending money on television, and my account list basically just evaporated over like 3 months.
What year was that? When was it?
This was 2016. This was recently. Yeah, this was 2016. So I was like, man, like, okay, here we go back again on the streets, selling new business. I've got, 10 years experience now in selling TV. Here I am. I'm actually like longer in the business, but making less money because now I'm back to when I was, 22 years old. And, I said, this is not the right move for me. So,
Right.
I was, on my phone one night, just going through YouTube channels and, up pops Grant. Like he pops up everybody's YouTube channel, right?
Yeah,
Cardone jumps on,
yeah.
And there's this guy on video and it says, Cardone coaches advertising agency to $100 million. I said, man, this is interesting, right? This guy comes from the school of Cardone. He's got, he wasn't doing that much with social media just yet, and so that's when I flew up. I literally booked a flight to New York City. And flew up and met with the CEO and said, look, I've been in TV for years. Like, I've been crushing it. The shift is happening. I know the shift is happening now. Like, you guys are ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
I'd be interested in if we can work a deal out where I could still stay in New Orleans. I don't mind traveling, but would love to come work for the ad agency, get that New York, Manhattan, the big, multi-million-dollar accounts.
Yeah.
And he said, let's do it. So we worked the deal out, and I went and told Fox that I was leaving. And they were like, where are you going, man? New York City? I said, no. I'm going to stay here. I'm going to stay here local. I'll travel. Man, flash forward like 4 months. I'm on a private jet. I'm like doing all of it. It's sitting in front of, I'm at lunch with Patrick Bet-David.
Right.
I'm working with, always entrepreneurs all across the country, man, super successful people. And we did a lot of content for the agency but for me, like, I was always drawn back to local.
Right.
I was drawn back to the local marketplace. So being able to sit across from a client, taking a lunch, and work with them on a basis of building a relationship to try and help them grow their business.
Right.
And I knew I had the talent and skill set for social media, but I just could not look the client in the eye, and say, look, you should buy these 35 TV commercials. It's going to help your business, and when that happened, like, I had to make a shift and say, okay, I can still do local marketing. Like, I can still do local media, local marketing, and work with my clients I used to work with, but now on like a local basis through social media, high-end video production, and bring them the high quality look and feel of a New York shop, but with a local price tag.
Right.
So that's when I launched Faught Marketing. And it's been just, it's been crazy. So
it's been crazy. And that's been, one of the things that I'm trying to, like, I haven't announced this yet, but I'll go ahead and announce it. I'm interviewing, Jennifer Gluckow on the 4th. She's a she's a badass, and she's the significant other of this guy, Jeffrey Gitomer, and I'm interviewing him on the 26th.
I think everybody's got a copy of the logo.
Oh, there it is. So but there's these. This show is about breakthroughs, like having a breakthrough in your life. And I think that, and, you and I've talked a lot, and, I'm not putting you out on Front Street, but you've called me and asked for, input and what my thoughts are on a lot of things. And, and I've said, man, look, dude, I don't have all the answers. I know that the way that you're going to succeed in life is when you face whatever it is you're afraid of and do it anyway. And a lot of times when you do those things, all of a sudden you have a magical breakthrough. And I won't talk about the phone call you made to me last week, but like, dude, you've had some breakthroughs.
Yeah, well, I mean, it really the force of reality of, making a decision to say, you know what, I'm going to go on my own and do the marketing and know that basically like everything is now on me.
Right.
Like I can't blame, the product. I can't blame, the pricing. I can't blame, I don't want to do this because this now takes me away from doing this, or nobody watches TV. Like it's all on me now. That's it. Right. It's all on me. And, it's really, it comes down to just showing up and getting up out of bed and getting excited to go out in the marketplace and take what's yours.
Right.
And it's out there. It really is out there. And I found for me that like, I kind of had this idea in the back of my head that one day I want to go on my own. One day I want to create my own firm. One day I want to, go out and work with clients. But I couldn't do that because I was like, I had golden handcuffs on because I was making so much money. Right. Like, why would I ever leave that job?
Right.
And then opportunities kind of came up for me where I positioned myself to say, you know what, if I can go out to the marketplace and just capture the share that I need to take care of my family, to take care of my business, to take care of my clients' needs, where I'm not overextending myself, where I can't service all these accounts.
Right.
I was able to go out to the marketplace and be successful. And the reality is, for me, I had to make a shift. It was a mindset shift of now it's completely up to you. Like, yes, you control your own schedule. You get up when you want to get up. You stay up as you want to go make calls. You don't want to make calls. But for me, since I made that shift last week, and that's when you and I talked.
Yeah.
I mentioned the whole idea of the walls.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I think we all have walls around us. And everything we want is just on the other side of the wall.
Yep.
Some walls are thicker than others. Some walls take a lot of chipping away to get through.
Yep.
But once you can get and see that hole that on the other side of that wall, what's out there, it's up to you to go get it. You can just say, forget chiseling. I'm just going to jump over the wall and go.
Right.
Right. You can build up enough strength and push the wall down, or you can, have somebody come knock it over for you.
Right.
But the reality is, with social media today, there's no reason why, like, an entrepreneur who's in sales or just in marketing in my own space, I mean, there's no reason why you're not successful. Like I'm looking at my desk right here, dude. I'm looking at magazines. Okay, these two magazines right here. Hold up here.
Yep.
I guarantee you, there's $500,000 in business right there.
Yep.
And you know what? Every client in these magazines, there's no way to tell who's seeing their ad, who's visiting their website from this. It's waste. It's wasted money.
It is.
And it's like, it's my responsibility now to go out and call on these clients and say, look, you're spending print. You're spending money on ways that you cannot go in the marketplace and to really know what your value, what do you get, how are you tracking and measuring this stuff? You're not. But you keep paying $1,000 a month, $1,000 a month
yeah.
to the magazine rep. They come by, they pick up their check,
yeah.
And they go buy a new pair of shoes. And next thing you know, you're like, well, why is my business not doing well?
Right.
Why don't I have patience? Well, because you've been blowing $5,000 a month for the last 3 years.
Right.
On print.
There was a time when I had a company in West Virginia, and I was the largest direct mailer in the state. And I mean, look, there are some instances, like my buddy John Hamlin owns a huge company doing direct mail, but it's a very laser focused direct mail that he does, and
right.
it's related to the auto industry. But
yeah,
as far as just blasting out, like, hey, I'm gonna go blast out that I build websites, or I do this, or I'm gonna send a direct mail piece out, or put in a magazine like that, or put the money into television advertising, which, as you already know, is far more than most print. So, like,
oh, of course, yeah. Well, it's so fragmented. That's the thing. It's just so fragmented. I mean,
right.
The reality is that, you know, there wasn't in 1998, you know, in 2003, you know, you had to buy billboards, you had to buy TV, you had to buy radio. How else were you going to get your message out? How else were you going to tell people what you're doing?
Right. Right.
So it worked back then.
Sure.
You know, the problem with a lot of local businesses now is they're still holding on to what worked for their business.
Yep.
I built my business on the Yellow Pages. I built my business buying this print magazine. Like, if I give this up, my business is going to suffer.
Yep.
No, keep doing what you're doing, your business is going to suffer.
Right.
I mean, that's just the reality.
Right.
But they're built onto it, you know, and New Orleans is a unique market. You know, New Orleans is unique because they are still behind the time of social media, and, you know, I mean, the AM radio station is still a powerhouse in some forms down here. AM radio.
And I was shocked when you told me that you need a flashlight and slippers to use the bathroom in the middle of the night.
But it's incredible the amount of money that these guys get for radio placements down here.
Right.
Insane. I'm like, are they showing video on the radio now? Did I miss something? Like, it's air. It's just voice. $600, $300 for 60 seconds. Are you serious?
Wow.
But companies keep doing it, and ad agencies keep taking the money and they just call them up, ring, hey, yeah, I need to place $20,000 a rate. Give me some drive time. Give me some afternoon drive, and there you go.
Oh my God.
So we're doing things differently. I mean, we're, you know, obviously, like, for myself, I mean, I'm working with clients, you know, to help them on a social media, and then to, like, bring the experience that I have from, you know, my years of broadcast, helping them reallocate some of those dollars. Like, I met with a client today who was, he's been spending money on broadcast television, and he's like, look, you know, I just haven't had the time to call a station and tell the guy to stop picking up the checks. I was like, well, stop writing the checks. Stop writing the checks. Like, that's easy to do.
Right.
And he said, look, it's just not working anymore, but, you know, it's on a system now. The guy comes and gets a check every other Tuesday. And so, but I said, look, man, you can take that money that, you know, half the money that you've invested in television and put it into a social media campaign and probably 5x, if not 10x your results.
Yeah. So
he's super excited about that. So we'll be working together with him pretty soon on a project. So, but that's a little bit of the round table as far as what I've been working on and
so the first time ever, like, seriously, in your life, you now are officially the CEO of your own business, right?
I am a CEO and a founder
of your own
whatever that
business.
means to me.
You're on your own, right? Nobody's got your back.
There's nobody. Yeah, I'm on my own, and you know, it's but it's good. I mean, I like the fact of being able to just go out and have no limits, you know, into what I can do. Yeah. You know, and there are a lot of people, super talented people, incredibly talented people, who should be on their own being successful, but are just afraid.
Yeah.
They're afraid to make the leap because, well, what if it doesn't work out? Right. Well, there is no what if it doesn't work out. You just make more calls. Like, you take more action.
Yep.
Like, it will work out.
It will.
The only reason why it won't work out is because you gave up.
Yep.
That's the only reason why people quit, because they give up.
Yep. That's right.
You know, and you look at all the most successful, you know, it's crazy. Like, when you look at people that have the opportunity, or at least have the skill set to go out and be successful, you know, it's probably fear of holding them back. What if I don't make it? Well, you know, if you don't make it, you know, I see some comments coming over here. I'm trying to read the comments.
Yeah, Amber Faught. We've got Elizabeth. Elizabeth is awesome. I want to take a second and give her, I don't know if Jason Howland is still on here, but that dude right there is a badass. I love that guy. Jim Weaver, Scott Christopher, Hermilo, let's see, Elizabeth. I love that woman. She's amazing. Amber Felt is amazing as well. I think they were laughing at my comment. It was a little delayed about going to the bathroom with a flashlight and slippers.
Oh.
But I think would you be open to taking any questions if anybody has any questions?
Yeah, let's see if anybody
I
has
don't
any
think we
questions.
have a lot of people on here right now. It is the middle of the afternoon, but if you have any questions about, sales, about marketing, about, especially television media stuff, Steven's done that. Steven's hung out with some seriously big celebrities. I mean, really big. Patrick Bet David recently, you were hanging out with, had lunch with him, and
Incredible guy, man. His whole team is fantastic.
yeah, he's an incredible dude. So, I'll give him a couple seconds here if anybody has any questions. But any big plans in the near future for you? What are some of your
So we got invited out on my we posted the video we dropped the video last night. We were invited out to document the opening day of the AAA baseball team in New Orleans, the New Orleans Baby Cakes.
Yeah.
And they're the affiliate of the AAA affiliate of the Miami Marlins, and we were able to capture they invited us. They were so nice, was they invited us out to do their little player meet and greet with the fans, and we got a bunch of the kids signing autographs. And then they invited us to they gave us field passes in the dugout, which was an amazing experience to watch a game in the dugout.
Yeah.
So we were opening night. We were in there. We shot a bunch of content for them because they also they struggle too with their a lot of their media is done to a lot of their media is placed through traditional advertisers. A lot of their partnerships are done through the TV stations, and so they're not really quite there yet on the social media side.
Right.
But one of the challenges that they're having is with attendance is it's going to the ballpark. I mean, you can go to the ballpark in New Orleans, watch a AAA baseball game, and spend less money than taking a family of four to a movie, right? And get better entertainment, better value. It's a family experience, So we're trying. What the project we worked on with them was to try to recapture that fan experience,
yeah,
and to deploy that on social media so people can see the fan experience, not throwing it back up on television.
Right.
It has to be in social mind. It has to be, it has to be deployed where people are paying attention. What's that?
Was that a distraction? I put Austin Lee's question up there.
Yeah, I saw it pop up on the screen.
But before that, I want to bring up Elizabeth said, ask him if he's going to start a public page or if he already has it. Yeah, look up Faught Marketing on Facebook. And then, Steven is a celebrity for sure in the making. So I'm going to convince him to do a fan page here very soon. But for sure, look up Faught Marketing. But let's talk about Austin Lee is on here. He said, I'm looking to get started in real estate. Do you guys have any thoughts on it or any good mentors in the real estate world?
Go follow Sidney Torres. He is a real estate beast. He has a show on CNBC called The Deed. Sidney, it's Sidney Torres.
Oh, it's not S-Y, it's S-I?
Yeah, S-I. Sidney Torres.
Awesome.
He is a real estate serial entrepreneur. I mean, he is incredible. But what he's doing, he has a show on CNBC called The Deed. We're doing some work for him as well.
Oh, wow.
And what he does is he works with, real estate developers, guys that are looking to do some flips, but maybe they don't have the financing in line because they maybe had, some bad credit here or there. They just can't afford the financing.
Right.
So Sidney comes in and he puts up his own capital, his own cash, and works with them on the project to take the whole entire project from the property, developing it, flipping it, and then selling it. So it's a show called The Deed.
And
it airs on CNBC.
I'm sorry.
What's that?
I know Austin's out in Vegas, and I have a really good friend out there that does a lot of flips, and he's a realtor as well. Dude, hit me up, send me a PM, and I'll hook you up with him as well, dude.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. But he's a great guy. I mean, we're going to be doing more content with Sydney too as well about
that's awesome.
getting his brand out there, because he's on. This is season 2 of The Deed. It launches June 13th is when season 2 kicks off.
Yeah.
And we are literally about to drop a piece of content we did for Sydney. We filmed in New Orleans last week. I have to literally send the video to him. I mean, he's already seen it. He loves it. But I have to send the file to post it. But we did that video for him. But he is incredible, very knowledgeable in the space. So real estate.
Yeah. Follow him.
Man.
Follow Sydney.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think, for me personally, I'll be 50 years old in July, and I've been really thinking a lot about that. It's weird. I've been thinking a lot about, just I mean, I live in a pretty nice place, and I just think about what got me to where I am. And I know that, I look back and man, I've really picked some great mentors. I mean, some really, really good mentors. And with it looks like Amber's got a question. We'll cover that in a second for sure. But and there she is with her beautiful little newborn baby too. But having the right mentors is unbelievably important. So, you got Sydney, you've got Grant Cardone's huge in the real estate world, and he does multiple real estate shows. I mean, there's a lot of stuff on that. And then having a direct mentor, somebody that you can go hang out with if, you can arrange something like that. That's incredible as well. So, I think that you gotta really make sure you're surrounding yourself with the right people. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Get as close to the power as you can.
That's it. Plug into
Very
it
close.
if you can.
And if it costs money to do it, do it. If it costs doing your services for free, do it. Like, you gotta align yourself with power. Like, that's, if you want to become successful, if you want to be in a position to do things.
Right.
To be great. I mean, that's just the reality. I mean, like, you're not going to do it on your own.
Right.
You're not. Because it's just not going to happen. And so if you can align yourself, build a relationship with people who have done it, and provide them service, provide them value, overvalue, over deliver, you can then at that point, work with them and be a partner with them, and maybe they'll promote you on their social media page, or maybe they'll give you credit. They'll give you a shout out. They'll give you, we did the work for the baseball team, and they tagged us in their video today. They got 55,000 fans on their Facebook page.
Wow. That's awesome, dude.
Like, it's incredible. So, it's just aligning yourself with the right people, and networking for sure.
And that's something, because you've only been at this now for 2 weeks?
Yeah, 2 weeks.
And it's like, everybody's like, wow, he's an overnight success, but really you're not. You've put in a lot of time. You've ground a lot. You've paid a lot in financially to be where you are. You've spent money on clients. You've wined them. You've dined them. You've taken money out of your own pocket. You've spent lots of time away from your beautiful wife and little girl, and who's also not newborn. How old is she now?
She'll be 2 next weekend.
Jeez, insane, man. Like the other day. So it goes fast, doesn't it? So it's important, I think, that people understand it wasn't overnight, that you've worked your butt off to get there. But, Amber says, when creating your brand, what is the best way / approach on working together with the right strategic partner?
When you mean strategic partner, do you mean like when you're trying to associate with a mentor?
Yeah, I'm not sure I understand that either, Amber.
I'm not sure I understand. Maybe Amber can clarify the question. Are you referring to, as far as, because I look at, so for me, I look at, when we were doing content with the New York firm was, okay, who do I have interest in? Who is interesting to me? Like I was following Patrick Bet-David through all of his social media channels. Yeah. And I looked at that's a guy I wanted to get in front of. That's a guy I wanted to connect with because I wanted to be able to pick his brain, spend some time with him. and just get to know the guy behind all the success in the videos.
Right.
And, you know, it was a target. I said, I'm just going to just reach out to him. So I DM'd him directly, like straight up DM'd him directly and said, yeah, this is great. I'm interested in talking with you guys. Here's my guy. You know, drop him an email, and then we set a call up. Next thing you know, we're on a plane like 3 weeks later and riding in Patrick's Rolls Royce to lunch.
Right. I saw that, man. I was like, dude, my boy Steven's rolling big.
Dude. Smooth, man.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Smooth, man.
It's awesome. So I wonder, Amber may be typing a response, elaborating.
So finding someone you look up to. I think finding someone that you consider successful, and then connecting and finding an alignment with them to either provide them value, or you may say, well, this guy's got 4 million followers. How do I provide them value? How do I get their attention? How do I either it's like a podcast. Maybe you have somebody that has a podcast. You can invite them on the show, and you can join with them. Like, there's so many ways today to do it. And just reach out and be very, very short and brief. Like, this is not a long paragraph. Who you are, what you do. It's simple. Very, very short.
Right. I've had so many people reach out to me, and ask for, guidance, or ask me to look at something, a business or whatever. And man, when they send a book, like when they send like more than one paragraph maybe a couple, but dude,
you would be, man, I get so many LinkedIn, and it's just like paragraphs.
Yeah.
Of like, but no, I'm not interested. Like,
delete those. I don't, and I feel bad about it for a moment, but I delete them. Ain't nobody got time for that. So like,
no.
We just don't, man. Life's moving fast. You got to get, if you're in the fast lane, man, you gotta be, you're
go faster. You gotta go faster.
Grinding. Yeah, that's it. We're all trying to figure that out. So, anyway, well, I don't know that, and I don't want to stay on here much longer, but, I try to keep it at below an hour, because most people don't have that kind of.
Has it been that long?
It's been 42 and a half minutes, bro. So, but it goes fast. But for the viewers, I'm not sure if it does or not, but, are there any other questions that anybody would have before we get off of here? As if you haven't noticed, just listening to Steven, the dude knows his stuff, and I'm him and I collaborate a lot on a lot of different things, and talk about a lot of things, and I'm grateful for that, because we can bounce things off of each other, and that's that whole Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. He said, he talks about the mastermind. Having a mastermind group, and I have a certain group of people that I have in my circle that I bounce stuff off of. You're one of them.
Yeah. No, same here, man. We talked a lot about different opportunities, and man, since I was at CBS, we've been friends and different business opportunities, and man, what do you think, Ken? If I did this, does this make sense? And many times I've called you. You've helped me out a lot, in a sense of really believing in myself and knowing that what I need to do, and to just go out and do it. A lot of people just
comments. Somebody share your link in the comments. Let me see if I can do that. I'm going to try to do that. I may have to come back. Whoa, what just happened? I just closed Facebook on my computer. Won't be doing that now. Whoops. So, I think that, I have one last question for you.
The final thought, Ken.
Do what?
Ken's final thought?
No. My biggest.
You have the option not to answer it.
You do. I think I'll just ask everybody in the audience, and you can participate if you want. Okay. What is
Okay.
the most money that you've ever spent on a sewing machine?
Holy cow, man.
I'm just kidding.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to answer that question. I'm going to say 0. And the reason why is because every time that bill has come in, it has been paid by a client or a customer. So I haven't spent $1 on the sewing machine.
But I love that, man, because you went all in, and you have this with your wife, whatever. You've got this embroidery thing too, and it's freaking amazing. And you didn't just go out and buy a little handheld little embroidery.
No, this is if anybody knows anything about, which I didn't know this until I bought the machine.
I mean,
about
it takes up an entire room.
It's massive. Yeah, it's massive. I went from I bought my wife. My wife has a lot of things, and the one thing she didn't have was an embroidery machine. So I made the mistake and bought her a single needle machine. Which anybody's ever bought a single needle machine before, it's a pain in the ass because you got to unthread each color and rethread it back in. She's like, I can't do this. It's a mess. All right, send it back to Amazon. So, her friends at her office or work, they have a 6-needle machine and does all the jackets and bags and all this stuff. And so I get brought into this sewing machine store, and it's like massive. These machines are massive. And there's no price tags on them at all. So I'm like, that's a bad sign, right? So and they offer financing, which is another bad sign. I said, all right, let's figure out a way that, if we can make money on this thing, I'll buy it. And so, it was called like the Entrepreneur 6000 or whatever. So I'm like, okay, this is cool. And a couple that was in the store, they said, look, man, we bought one. We have a store on Etsy and we sell, embroidery stuff in our hometown. My wife makes a killing doing it. I'm like, well, hey, we could do this. So we now embroider, backpacks
and you do a heck of a job at it, right?
And I do a fantastic job at it. Yes.
Yeah,
we are very good at a side, but that just goes to show you, you can literally create, go out and make an investment in a product, in a machine, a capital, you can tax deductible, right?
Yep.
Not giving tax advice, but you can write it off, right?
Yep.
And go and you find your niche on a store like Etsy. You set up a username and password in the store. We buy our backpacks fully transparent, buy them from Alibaba.
Yeah.
They drop them. They drop them on my doorstep for probably $6 delivered. Yeah. And I sell them for $32 on Etsy.
And I'm telling you, you guys made that for my little girl as a nice gift.
Oh, they're great gifts.
And
they're
holy
great.
moly, the quality of it! She loves it. She still uses it today. I mean, she's had it for a year.
Oh, they're good bags.
Oh, yeah. It's awesome.
But that's just taking an idea of saying, okay, well, let's see. If I buy this machine, how can it produce income?
Right. Right.
And it does.
It does. And I think, that's the thing is I can remember several years ago, I just shared your link, by the way. I remember several years ago, I was sitting in a buddy of mine's office. He's a financial planner. He's a mega millionaire. He's funnier than hell. And he says, and he's like, so how's it going, man? I said, man, I'm broke and I'm broke. Wah, wah, wah. And he says, dude, what are you doing, man? I go, well, I'm just telling you, I'm broke, man. Wah, 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 wah. And he says, dude, you're not taking enough action. You just got to increase your activity. You got to make more calls. You got to, whatever. And I said, dude, I know, but man, you would think that by now people would be just magically coming to me. And he's like, dude, that's not the way it works. You got to go, man. And he goes, dude, there is a guy in Columbus, Ohio that makes over $1 million a year picking up dog poop. He picks up dog poop out of people's yards, and they pay him to do that, and he makes over $1 million a year. So, you can't tell me if some dude can go out and pick up dog crap, you can't make a living. So, and that's it. It's all about activity, right? It's all about
No, it is. I
entitlement.
mean,
It's
it
about
comes down to activity.
It's all that, man. So you do it enough, and you work hard enough, and you push hard enough, and you take a risk and bet on yourself. You know, there's a real good chance that it's going to pay off.
Yeah, I mean, that's because you're gonna. If not, what's gonna happen? You're gonna go back, work for a company, corporate company, and what are you gonna do? Get back to work.
Yep, that's it.
So just work.
Right. And they're going to tell you, hey, man, you know, you work at Grant Cardone's office, you got to make 150 calls a day and have a certain amount of talk time with customers, you know. So, like, you got it all comes down to the level of activity you're willing to put in. That's it. It's work.
Yeah, that's it.
It's work.
Because if you were to say, if they say you have to make 200 calls a week, or you have to make 300 calls a week or 400 calls a week, and you don't want to do that,
right?
Okay, but guess what? If in order to be successful in that environment, you have to make 400 calls a week.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you said I don't want to do that because I don't want to make 400 calls, okay, well then go do your own thing.
Right.
Make 100 calls. Let me know how it works out for you. Okay, you made some sales. Great. Well, if you made 200 calls, could you make more sales?
Right.
Well, probably so. Well, go make 200 calls.
Right. Exactly.
It's the same work. It's not like, well, I'm going to go back and work for corporate America, and all of a sudden now I'm going to get a paycheck every 2 weeks, and you're still going to have to go to work.
Yeah.
You're still going to have to do something for the money. You're not just going to give you free money.
That's right. Yep.
So are you in a position where you can say, you know what, I'm self-disciplined, I can go to the marketplace, I can provide value, provide a service to a customer, help them with their marketing, and in exchange, in exchange value for your time and your investment.
Yep.
Then just do that. That's all you need to do. But so many people are saying, well, I'm just going to go work. You still have to get up, get dressed, drive to the office, sit in meetings, do reports, or I could say, you know what, screw that. I'm just going to go make more calls.
That's it.
I think for me, that what I'm most excited about this new journey for me that I'm on is my time now is like, I don't have to be back at 3:00 for a sales meeting.
Right.
I can go stop and see 3 more clients.
That's it.
Or I don't have to be at the office at 8 a.m. Dude, 8 a.m. I'm having coffee with a client at 7:30.
Right.
You know, a lot of times for me, I had to be at my desk for 8:15. Well, that means I couldn't see anybody before 7:30.
Yeah.
Okay. And I didn't get out in the field till 10 o'clock.
Right.
Well, I'm dropping off my daughter at school and I'm going right to my first meeting. Like I'm transacting and meeting people.
Right. That's it.
So that, there goes all my stuff.
Hey, as long as my book didn't fall, we're good.
No, you're good, brother. You're good. You're still up there. But it's, look, at the end of the day, it just comes down to activity. And if you're a good person, you do quality work.
Yep.
You help clients achieve their goals. You can make them money. Like you can be successful. Like just take more action.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's all it comes down to. Like I said, I've got books on my desk here. I've got probably 4 magazines on my desk here that, I mean, did I call all these people in the magazine? No.
Nope.
I can. I mean, they're writing checks to pay for this. So they're spending money. Somebody sold them this.
Yep.
I mean, I would think today this would be pretty hard to sell.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to give you a static ad on page 97. That's going to be this big.
And it's only $100.
Dude, this magazine's expensive.
Is it really?
This is St. Charles Avenue. This is on the avenue.
How much to put an ad in there, you think?
Look at these people, Ken. You think these people have money?
They have money. How much do you think, how much to put
in this magazine here, at least $1,000 a page.
Wow. Yeah.
So this ad right here probably cost this guy, I mean, that's conservative with that. It could be $2,500 a page.
Dude, hold it up to the screen so we can at least give the guy some chance.
Okay, here we go. Yeah.
That's the most exposure that ad has gotten since it hit that paper.
I'll tell you, you know what we're gonna do? Relish on Metairie Road right here. Okay, we can tag them in this post in this feed,
What
and we'll
is
see if
it?
they get more traction.
Well, show it again. Hold on. I'm gonna make it full screen for you. Relish. What do they do?
Relish does
Like home
fashion,
decor?
home, and gifts.
Okay. So everybody in New Orleans, you you got to call up Relish and tell them, hey, your ad is not useful in that paper or in that magazine. Call Stephen Faught. He'll hook you up.
Yeah, but they probably got more exposure on this feed than they get in the magazine. So
I mean, that's true, though. I mean,
yeah,
I mean, I don't know how many people, we don't even have a lot on right now, but, the replay viewers, if they watch it this long, so anyway, well, look, dude, we're at the end of this. Let's call it a wrap. I really appreciate you jumping on
no, it's
here.
been good, man. It's good catching up with you, man.
Yeah. And
Appreciate you having me on the show.
And as you already know, bro, anything I can ever do to help you and your family, I'm
Yeah, you've done a lot, man. It's been fun. We had a good time, good conversation. We had some fun.
yeah.
I appreciate the opportunity, man.
Yeah. My honor, brother. All right. Well, listen, you have a great night and thank you all and Stephen, don't hang up yet, but, thank you guys. Appreciate everybody that's been on here. Thank you for all the shares, the love, the likes and the questions and the interaction. Appreciate it. Y'all have a great night. See you later.